Hello, I'm Blair and I'm the current Commodore at South Sony Sailing Club. We do a lot of racing here, but arguably dinghy cruising is more popular, or albeit less visible. And when I was thinking about getting a cruising dinghy, and I've got a Cornish Cormorant, which is brilliant, I was inspired by somebody doing videos in Rutland Water and around Plymouth and Poole Harbour and so on, and some of these really brilliant Wayfarer cruises up in Scotland. I'm a very timid sailor, and so if you're looking for an exciting, brave, crossing the North Sea in storms, etc., turn away now, because because I want to show more like what you can do based on sailing in an England club. And sailing in an England club, and arguably doing racing in an England club, will give you those core competencies, I feel, that when you get out onto the big wide sea, you can handle your boat, you can do the basics, and then you just need to think about wind, tide, current, boat traffic, motorboats, etc., etc. But racing and sailing on our lake gives you that foundational experience. So three things really then I want to sort of emphasise, and then I'll share my dinghy cruise, which was very pleasant. Racing, sailing on the lake gives you this foundations. This isn't super exciting. It's been a boat cruising around, but it's like a micro adventure. And it's tricky when you sail on a lake to go out onto the sea. And I thought, well, perhaps like those videos I saw, this may make people think, well, he's not that great, and if he can do it, why shouldn't I give it a go? And I really appreciate the other people sharing videos on cruising. So I hope you find it interesting. If you do, that's super great. If you don't, and your self-esteem issues mean that you need to criticise it in public, knock yourself out if it makes you feel happier. So please enjoy. As I say, it's not exciting, but hopefully it'll give you a vibe of what you can do based on, sort of general club sailing. I appreciate you shouldn't spend longer planning than in execution, but I wanted to sort of get my head around the situation, and this is the chart for Falmouth Carrick Roads down in Cornwall. So my plan was launch from Milo, then sail up, go around Black Rock down at the bottom here, go then up the Percule, perhaps stop for lunch, come back out, maybe have a look at Flushing, and then come down to Turnerware Point right at the northern end of Carrick Roads here, and then bash back into St Just Pool for the night. Looking at my tidal curve, I could work out that with spring tides, 5 metres, the chart datum is 3, about 2 hours either side of high water I could get in, and high water was at about 7:30, so about 6 I was thinking I'll try and get up and get in, which worked okay. And then in the morning, I sort of, as long as I was out by like 8, I should be able to get back out. There wasn't much wind forecast, so the plan was then really just go straight across back and climb out. Also, I knew I'd get a terrible night's sleep sleeping on the boat, and I didn't want to do anything too demanding the next day. So that was the plan. So I've just launched, and the plan is this. Got to Black Rock, so I can look at the big wide sea, which would be big enough for me, as I say, I'm a timid sailor. Then perhaps come down, have a look at St Mawes, go up the east side of Carrick Roads, go past St Just Pool, and maybe up to Turnerware Point, which is behind the camera and in front of me, and then come back to St Just Pool, spend the night. There's forecast no wind tomorrow, so I'll just come back along to Milo, which is behind me from where I've just set off, and then that'll be it. My nano adventure will be complete. So see how we get on. I don't know whether you can see, there's Black Rock in the distance, just almost behind my mast now. I'm just keeping an eye out for the ferries that ply between St Mawes and Falmouth. It's gusting, I think, up to 70 knots, and so it's quite benign really, albeit I wouldn't want to get it much stronger. And I think the base, as you can imagine, or more experienced sailors than me can imagine, is quite a bit lower, as there are like no white horses or anything. But just the Cormorant really beamy, taking it really well. Yeah, and we're making good speed. I think we've got the tide behind us, but it's just gorgeous. quite shifty around here. On our nose is the St Maur's to Place ferry, I think, or it might be a water taxi. And I'm just going to go through these moorings up the Percure River, maybe catch a spot of lunch. I think that over there is the St Maur's to Falmouth ferry, but I stay well out of their way. I'm going to come up to this beach for lunch. It's very shifty, almost 360 degrees, so I had to resort to the electric outboard to just sort of punt me up a bit, partly because I couldn't be bothered to, like, chase it in a circle, but might need to do it again, I think. Stop for lunch above the halfway up the Percure River. Being in Cornwall, Cornish pasty, obviously. Here we are at Turnaway Point, a long run down from Black Rock. Occasionally it dies away and occasionally it a build, so I did sort of like very broad reaches, and I think I made quite good time, perhaps better than if I'd been on a dead run. But I'm going to turn around here now and have a look at going into St Just Pool, or see how high I can get and then anchor till the tide will get me in. I'm just motoring into St Just, or past Pascoe's boat yard now. The wind's right on the nose, so I've stopped beating around the bush and I'm just going to motor in. So this is my equivalent of Roger's homely dinghy. I've lifted up the bottom boards, as you can see, and that's going to be the top half of my bedroom, and there's my sleeping bag, kit mat, a cushion, a pillow. Hey, I was in the RF. So that'll be there. That's like the wardrobe and all my kit. So all the kit I wear for sailing is under my buoyancy aid, and all the kit really I don't wear for sailing is in that green bag. Where I'm sitting, here's the bottom board. I'll lift it, turn it round, and that will be my bed platform. And then here's my galley out the back, where I've got a trusty old trangia, and yeah, I'm putting on a brew. I've got a tarp, like a cheap market stall tarp, and it looks it, but I've got that over then as a ridge of the boom and the gaff and the Cornish Cormorant, with a couple of oars providing it with a bit of stability, I hope. It's quite warm in here, I must admit. It heats up, but hopefully if there's a bit of rain, it'll keep it off. If there's going to be a gale, then I wouldn't come, so it doesn't need to be super great, but hopefully it'll do the job. Right, well, it will be interesting to see how much sleep I get, but as that view from my bedroom window, that's not bad, really. I don't know whether you can make it out, but there's a beautiful church there, though I think it strikes the half hour all night. So it's been an okay night, and if you want a good night, go and stay in a hotel, I guess. Reflecting a bit, as today there's no wind, so I'm just gonna motor back to my Lord coastland, and sort of that'll be it. But all those skills you do at the sailing club, you come into play here, and it gives you the capacity, because you've got the basic boat handling to handle all the other yachts and the tides and the currents and stuff like that. So it's been really good, and I've really enjoyed it, and I'm going to do it again. I need to refine my sleeping arrangement, so and I think possibly my inflatable mattress may have de-inflated during the night, so some room for improvement there. But a really nice adventure, and who wouldn't mind waking up to this? Isn't this what dinghy sailing's all about. The other refinement I need is to make sure my book's more to hand, as it was tacked away at all the bottom of the nighttime kit. So I meant an anchor, perhaps, rather than just stopping and reflecting. I tend to think, right, let's go sailing again, whereas a portrait or a book would be nice. I think I can hear my coffee almost ready, so I'll catch you later. I realise as I sail this, I'm not Ellen MacArthur or Knox Johnson, and I've just sailed around Carrick Roads, as I say. This is a sort of timid adventure, so apologies if you think I'm telling you stuff you know, or I'm sounding like I'm the bloody old man of the sea. You know, the old man bit, yeah, but, you know, I realise I'm just an average club sailor, but perhaps that's good, isn't it? Because the average club sailor can have some really good little dinghy cruising adventures.
This is the Maritime Safety Information Broadcast.
So that was a Timid Sailors nano adventure. What have I learnt? Thinking through scenarios. What if your trailer gets puncture, because trailer's part of your dinghy's kit? What if kit fails? Certainly rudder, centreboard, plan A's and plans B's. Secondly, always sail the boat. I was doing a bit of video, and as I mentioned, I could only do one thing at a time, so I steered into a huge patch of weed that stopped the motor, but luckily I had oars available. But you know, it could have been a lot worse, so I paddled out and that was it. But so always sail the boat. And the third thing I think is, when you do a manoeuvre, for me, think it through. What's going to happen? What are you going to do before you do it? Like, I'm used to coming up to the dinghy pontooning and stepping ashore, but here it's different, because say I've got an anchor at the back and I've got like an anchor buddy, which is a bit of a sort of bungee, so it'll always pull you into deeper water, which I like, but I don't use it often. So it's like thinking, right, what's going to do, what's the sequence before I do it. But really nice weather, really nice, you know, fantastic. What a great way to spend a day, sailing around and then sort of motor sailing, etc. back here. So if you think some of this is great, all I can do is say I looked at other videos and thought they were fantastic, and they sort of inspired me, and I'm not a great sailor. So if you think that's something you'd like to do, then yeah, plan it and do it, and practice at your club. Get racing, because it imposes a discipline, I think, making sure you sail a course in various winds, so in light wind sailing you can at least optimize whatever speed's available to you. Cool. Stay safe.